What if I told you that the greatest tool you have to overcome adversity is your own mind? Picture this. You're standing in the middle of a storm. Rain lashes down, winds howl, and thunder roars. But you stand firm. You're not swayed by the storm around you. Instead, you face it head-on with a calm and collected mind. This is the essence of Stoicism. Stoicism, a philosophy that's been around for centuries, is more relevant today than ever before. It teaches us to maintain our composure, to stay cool under pressure, and to keep a clear mind, regardless of the circumstances. Imagine being able to turn each problem into a lesson, each failure into a stepping stone. Wouldn't that be empowering? That's exactly what Stoicism allows us to do. It teaches us that we have the power to turn even the worst of situations into valuable lessons. Now let's talk about emotions. They're part of being human, right? We feel joy, anger, sadness, fear, a whole spectrum of emotions. And that's okay. Stoicism doesn't ask us to suppress these emotions. Instead, it encourages us to understand them, to acknowledge them, and most importantly, not to let them control our destiny. Imagine a scenario where you're faced with a huge challenge. Your initial reaction might be fear, panic, or despair. But what if, instead of giving in to these emotions, you take a step back, take a deep breath, and approach the situation with a calm mind? Wouldn't that change the outcome? That's the power of Stoicism. It's about maintaining control over our own mind, our own emotions, and ultimately our own destiny. It's about being the master of our own lives, not a slave to our circumstances or our emotions. Remember, your mind is the most powerful weapon you have. It's the key to overcoming adversity, to turning problems into lessons, and failures into stepping stones. Stoicism is not about suppressing emotions, but about understanding them and not letting them control your life. You might wonder, does Stoicism really work in real-life situations? Let's explore some stories. Our first tale takes us to the realm of entrepreneurship. Meet Sarah, a passionate innovator who dreamt of launching her own tech startup. But like many, she faced the harsh reality of rejection after rejection. Any ordinary person might have caved, but not Sarah. Drawing strength from Stoic philosophy, she saw setbacks not as failures, but opportunities to grow. She understood that the only thing within her control was her reaction and effort, not the outcome. So she persevered. Today, Sarah helms a successful tech company, a testament to her Stoic resolve. Next, we venture into the world of sports, to the story of an athlete named Michael. A promising soccer player, his career was abruptly halted by a severe injury. Doctors said he'd never play again, but Michael refused to let circumstances dictate his future. Embracing Stoicism, he realized his injury was an external event beyond his control. What he could control, however, was his response. He focused on rehabilitation, worked tirelessly, and eventually, against all odds, returned to the field. Michael's story is a powerful demonstration of Stoicism in action. We now turn our attention to the arts, where we find Emily, a gifted writer. Emily battled repeated rejection from publishers. She could have let the criticism cripple her, but she chose a different path. Inspired by Stoicism, she understood that external validation was not the measure of her worth. Emily continued to write, not for approval, but for the love of the craft. Eventually, one of her manuscripts caught a publisher's eye. Today, her novels are bestsellers, loved by readers worldwide. Emily's journey is a testament to the Stoic principle of focusing on what is within our control. Our final story brings us to the corporate world, where we meet John, a hard-working executive. He was passed over for a promotion he had worked tirelessly for. Disappointment could have consumed him, but John found solace in Stoicism. He realized that his worth was not defined by a title, but by his work ethic and integrity. He continued to excel in his role, and when the next opportunity arose, he was the clear choice. John's story teaches us that Stoicism can help us navigate the corporate labyrinth with grace and resilience. These stories are not just about successful people. They're about ordinary individuals who faced adversity head-on, armed with the principles of Stoicism. They understood that life will invariably throw curveballs at us. But it's not the events themselves that define us. It's how we respond to them. Sarah could have given up after her initial failures, but she chose to persevere. Michael could have accepted his fate after his injury, but he chose to fight back. Emily could have stopped writing after the rejections, but she chose to continue. John could have become bitter after being passed over for promotion, but he chose to focus on his work. They all understood a fundamental principle of Stoicism. We cannot control what happens to us, but we can control how we react. By focusing on what was within their control and accepting what wasn't, they turned their setbacks into opportunities for growth. They didn't let their emotions dictate their actions. Instead, they used their minds, their greatest weapon, to navigate their challenges. These individuals are not anomalies. They are you and me. They are proof that Stoicism isn't just a philosophical concept confined to textbooks. It's a practical tool that we can use to navigate our lives, to turn our failures into stepping stones, to transform our adversities into opportunities. It's a reminder that our greatest power lies not in changing the world around us, but in changing ourselves. They show us that Stoicism isn't about suppressing our feelings. It's about understanding them, acknowledging them, and then choosing how we let them affect us. It's about realizing that our emotions are not in control. We are. It's about using our mind, our greatest weapon, to steer our course, irrespective of the storms we face. Each of these individuals harnessed the power of Stoicism to overcome their challenges, showing us that our mind indeed is our greatest weapon. So, we've seen the power of Stoicism in action. But what are the key points to remember? Stoicism, a philosophy rooted in ancient Greece, has timeless wisdom to offer us. It equips us with a mental toolkit to face adversity with grace, fostering resilience, mental toughness, and emotional fortitude. The key tenets of Stoicism can be distilled into three main points. Firstly, Stoicism teaches us to differentiate between what we can control and what we can't. We can't change the past or predict the future, but we can control our reactions to them. This understanding helps us to focus our energy on what truly matters, empowering us to navigate through life's storms with a calm and composed mind. Secondly, Stoicism urges us to reframe failure. Instead of viewing setbacks as crippling, Stoicism encourages us to see them as stepping stones on our path to growth. Each stumble, each fall is not a dead end, but a valuable lesson. It's a chance to learn, adapt, and emerge stronger. Remember, failure is not the opposite of success, but a part of it. Lastly, Stoicism promotes emotional resilience. It doesn't ask us to suppress our emotions, but rather to understand and manage them. It's about strengthening our emotional intelligence so that we're not swayed by every wave of emotion. It's about maintaining a clear, composed mind amidst the chaos of life. These key points of Stoicism not only guide us in overcoming adversity, but also in cultivating a mindset conducive to success. It's about harnessing the power of our mind, not being slaves to our emotions. It's about viewing life's challenges as opportunities for growth, not as insurmountable obstacles. Remember, it is not a sin to feel emotions, but to give them power over your destiny. Use your mind over emotions. Embrace Stoicism and unlock a life of resilience, emotional intelligence, and inner peace. But Stoicism isn't just about overcoming adversity. It's also a path to wealth and inner happiness. Let's delve deeper into this. Stoicism, at its core, is the practical philosophy of mastering our emotions and desires to live a fulfilling and peaceful life. This approach can serve as a guiding principle in our financial journey as well. It encourages us to focus on what we can control, our actions, our responses, and our perspectives. In the realm of finance, this translates to sensible budgeting, wise investments, and mindful spending. Yet, Stoicism does not advocate for a life devoid of material comforts. Instead, it urges us to strike a balance between our desires and our needs. It teaches us to appreciate what we have, instead of constantly chasing after what we don't. This mindset not only fosters financial stability, but also reduces stress and anxiety associated with the incessant pursuit of more. But what about inner happiness? How does Stoicism contribute to that? Well, it's simple. Stoicism teaches us to detach our happiness from external circumstances. It encourages us to find joy in our actions, in our personal growth, and in the pursuit of virtue. This means that regardless of our financial situation, we can always find contentment within ourselves. Stoicism also encourages us to embrace adversity. It teaches us that every challenge is an opportunity for growth, that every setback is a chance to learn. This mindset doesn't just help us weather the storms of life, it also fosters resilience, grit, and inner strength. These qualities not only contribute to our inner happiness, but they also make us more effective in our pursuits, including financial ones. In essence, Stoicism offers a balanced approach to life. It helps us navigate our financial journey with wisdom and prudence, while ensuring that we don't lose sight of what truly matters, our inner peace and fulfillment. Stoicism is a timeless teaching. It helps us not just face adversity, but also achieve wealth and inner happiness. Are you ready to become a hydra, growing stronger with each challenge? Let's dive into an analogy that aptly embodies the essence of Stoicism. Picture a hydra, a mythical creature known for its remarkable resilience. When one of its heads is cut off, it doesn't shrivel and die. Instead, it grows back 3 more, each one stronger and more formidable than the one before. That's the beauty of Stoicism, the philosophy that teaches us to use adversity as a catalyst for growth. When life throws us curveballs, we don't crumble under the pressure. Instead, we rise, stronger and more resilient, just like the hydra. Stoicism doesn't ask us to suppress our emotions or ignore the pain. It simply encourages us to approach these feelings with a cool mind, to see them for what they truly are, temporary and fleeting. The trials we face are not roadblocks, but stepping stones on our path to growth. Imagine if we could harness the power of adversity, turning every setback into a setup for a comeback. Each failure, each disappointment, each heartache would then serve as fuel, propelling us forward, driving us to rise higher and reach further. With Stoicism, we can do just that. It equips us with the mental fortitude to face life's challenges head-on, to stare adversity in the face and say, "You cannot break me, I will use you as a stepping stone to my success." It's about shifting our perspective, about seeing the silver lining in every cloud. It's about understanding that our power lies not in avoiding adversity, but in embracing it, using it as a tool to sharpen our minds and strengthen our resolve. Stoicism teaches us that our mind is our most potent weapon. It's the fortress that shields us from life's storms, the lighthouse that guides us through the darkest nights. And when we learn to wield this weapon, to master the art of Stoicism, we become unstoppable. We become hydras, thriving in the face of adversity, growing stronger with each challenge. Stoicism allows us to face adversity head-on, growing stronger with each challenge. It's time to unleash the power of your mind. So, are you ready to take control of your life with Stoicism? Let's quickly revisit the essence of our journey today. Stoicism, a timeless philosophy, teaches us to harness the power of our minds, to face adversities head-on, and to turn setbacks into stepping stones. It's about understanding that our emotions, while valid, should not dictate our lives. Stoicism encourages us to keep a cool head, to wield our inner calm as our most potent force, even in the face of the harshest trials. Consider the hydra analogy. Each time we face a setback, we bounce back stronger, wiser, like a hydra growing 3 heads for every one lost. This is the essence of Stoicism. It is a tool that can lead us not only towards financial prosperity, but also to a sense of profound inner happiness. Remember, your mind is your greatest weapon. Choose Stoicism, face adversity, and become the master of your own destiny.